It's unique because it's individual, and I guess there are so many elements. It's like golf, where there are so many poles, there are so many factors that come into play, or the wind, you know, your speed on the runway, the run, plant, so all the technical aspects, and then also the danger of it as well.
It's a very precise sport, and only someone who does it or has coached it can really appreciate that.
I just like how it's just a crazy sport. Like, pole vaulters are a crazy group of people.
It's really neat. Like, no one else can vault a story or more, you know, and still live and tell about it. And
so there's a lot of things going on, but when you have it, it just feels like a graceful, pretty kind of act.
They remind me of dolphins when they go over the bar. You know, you come down there and you plant that damn pole in the back of that box, and you see that thing bend, and you see them catapult over there, and if they do it correctly, you know.
It's a really fun event to go ahead and just watch and participate in. It's the funnest thing to do in track and field. Everything else, all the other events are just training activities for pole vaulting. When you really look at it, you sprint so you can run faster on the vault runway. That's why you do all that stuff.
It takes the hammer javelin kind of finesse, coordination, technique, combined with a sprinter's speed, combined with a weightlifter's strength. I mean, it pulls everything together. So instead of just being finely tuned in one area, we are an all-around athlete. We're a gymnast, a strength trainer, we're everything.
It's the funnest event to do, it's the most challenging, it's the most widely watched. People will go to track meets just to watch the pole vault. And so the athletes, the kids really want to be part of all of that scenario, that scene. You know, it's a hot scene.
Pole vaulters are a lot of fun. I don't know, racers are all right, but you know, zoom, they're gone and you don't see them. But pole vaulters come down and they're always, you know, talking and, you know, wanting to know, where did I hold? You think I should hold a little higher? I think I should take a heavier pole.
It's kind of, you know, a big friendship, and everyone's there to help each other out. And if you need, you know, someone to catch your steps or someone to guide a win for you, or, you know, even possibly borrow a pole, you know, if you've traveled a long way and the poles didn't come in on the airplane, you know, most of the guys will, you know, let you use their pole.
Sure, they're trying to go as high as they can, but I think they enjoy seeing a good vaulter.
It's not like football, you know, where someone's directly trying to stop you from doing good.
It's competitive. I mean, the kids are still competitive and they want to beat each other, but at the same time, they're willing to help each other than other events.
Because if 5 guys jump high, you know, and I go to a meet where I'm the lowest jumper there, the chances of me jumping higher are better.
Anybody will take that pole and run down through there and put it in that plant box and go up on it, you know, and snap it over. You got to have a lot of moxie, you know, and not be afraid of falling.
The longer you can fall in the end, the more your heart pounds. The higher the bar goes up, the more anxious you get. It's just all around exciting.
If it wasn't dangerous, you know, I probably wouldn't like it as much.
If you're safe all the time, you're not going to jump high. So you have to kind of be on that edge of being on the biggest pole you can be on, you know, with your standards in the right place to get the maximum height, you know, and that's not being, you know, the safest all the time.
You see guys vaulting here and they're all perfect, you know, they all land in the middle of the pit every time, you know, but I guarantee you every one of them has landed in the box once. They've all landed on the standard once, you know, they've probably flown over the pit before.
if you get hurt, you have to be willing to get right back on the runway and try it again.
If you've been around a pole vault enough, you've seen people break poles. There was a kid back in Connecticut. He broke a pole and it impaled right in this, right there. He had a great big scar when I last saw him. but he was back jumping.
I went over the top of the standard and landed in a concrete ditch.
I've landed in a box. I've gotten rejected back onto the runway.
I've splayed my nose open, like completely, like my nostril didn't have it.
I came down from 14 feet and landed flat foot on my heels on the street.
I knocked myself out twice.
I've flown all the way over the pit and landed on concrete.
And I took off like 2 feet under and turned it up and got caught in a bungee, and then that got wrapped like between my legs. So I have like it hasn't healed, like a 6-inch scar.
I've like hit the standard coming down.
After a while, the medical bills get kind of expensive, but yeah, I've done a lot of stupid stuff.
It's an insane act. You do have to have a little bit of an off mentality to be okay with it. If you aren't crazy to start with, in order to stick with it, you're gonna be crazy.
They're all crazy. Anybody jump up that high and come down on your head, you gotta be crazy.
I mean, people always say, oh, pole vaulting, you know, those guys are crazy and that. And I think there is craziness in the sense that, you know, they're not afraid and they're willing to take chances, but at the same time, they're calculated chances.
A lot of people stereotype vaulters as being totally crazy and not afraid of anything. Most of them do have their fears, and I think it's more a question of meeting your fears and beating your fears than it is of being fearless.